Building 11 is located at the east gate of the Wugong Academy. It's the oldest dormitory building in the school. Legend has it that this place was formerly a health school, then because of what happened, transferred to a nearby university, used as a boys' dormitory. About here, there has always been all kinds of magic, weird legend. It is said that here, whether it is day or night, no matter how hot it is outside, but as long as you enter the gate of Building 11, immediately you will feel a chill. Students who have lived here say, it's not clean here. Some people say, you'll hear girls stealing in the hallway at midnight. Voice of language, but no one can see. Some people say they wake up in the middle of the night. I saw someone floating past the window. Lots and lots. But it's all undocumented. It didn't happen. But about Building 11, the longest time, the weirdest legend, or the story of Dormitory 118. Chen Gang is a freshman of the Wugong Academy this year. After the report in the afternoon, go back to the dormitory to pack your luggage. Just opened the door, and there was a mess in the room, a similar age. The child is lying in bed playing with his cell phone. As soon as the sword minister came in, he grinned at him, pointed at himself. Wang Han, how about you? Ah, Brother Chen. Two people shake hands and say hello. Go back and continue playing with your phone. Chen Gang casually packed his luggage. On the only empty bed, look around. 3 tables have been set. It's all dilapidated. It's full of big holes. The small eyes are only left in the corner, and there's one covered in dust. Looks very old. The surface is relatively complete. Chen Gang dragged him to his bed. Slight wipe. He ripped out the bottom drawer, but there was a line lying inside. Shiny women's underwear in hand. Chen Gang was stunned. Isn't this the boys' dormitory? How could there be such a thing? He turned his head and found Wang Han tilting his head, staring at him oddly. It was very embarrassing. Chen Gang hurriedly put the thing in his hand. Throw it away. Quickly explained that, it's not mine. When I first went through the drawer, I'm not finished yet. Wang Han smiled. Can't help but interrupt Chen Gang. Okay, buddy, I get it. Then several students came back, one after another. This thing is over, and they got to know each other a little bit. Because it's the first day, it was pretty exciting. We talked for a long time after the lights were turned off. The dormitory slowly quieted down. Chen Gang is alone in the dark night. He turned it over and helped it. I didn't fall asleep after tossing for a long time. I just got a little sleepy. He saw in a daze. One in an old school uniform. A tall girl stood in front of him. Hair down, can't see the face clearly. Stretched out a bleak arm, waving at him. Motion for him to come closer. Chen Gang is like a demon. I can't help but look at that girl. Step by step. 1 step, 2 steps. You can see under his drooping hair. That white eyeball right there. Chen Gang suddenly felt a burst of fear, wriggling my body desperately. I definitely don't want to go any further. Ask you out loud, who are you? And this is the moment. His body was like a sudden, regained freedom. Stopped. There was a burst under the hair of the floor hammer, the sound of the hustle and bustle. Suddenly, he opened his mouth and laughed. It sounded like a saw. As soon as Chen Gang rolled over, he got up from the bed. His face was covered with beads of sweat, breathing for a long time, looking at the dark dormitory. The other roommates were snoring evenly. Chen Gang never fell asleep again. His mind is full. It's all the girl with the low hair. Early the next morning, after the alarm on the mobile phone rang a dozen times, Chen Gang reluctantly got up from the bed. I put on clothes, randomly. He washed up in a hurry and walked to the classroom. Today is the first day of reporting. In the classroom, the teacher talked with great interest about the university club. Professional class Chen Gang lying on the table. He also fell asleep with great interest. One day down, I don't know how much Chen Gang slept. Anyway, that colorful college life. Let him forget about that weird dream last night. The first small vacation after school starts on October 1st. The students have all gone home. Chen Gang is far from home. He doesn't want to mess around. Left alone in the dormitory. He actually likes it too. The entire dormitory building is basically empty. Seems very quiet. At night, looking at the empty bedroom, Chen Gang lost interest after playing for a while. Turn off the lights early and go to bed. But he just fell asleep for a while. I suddenly felt a piercing meaning. The window opened slowly by itself. Indoor temperature. In an instant, it seemed to have dropped by more than 10 degrees. In his sleep, Chen Gao frowned slightly. Tucked away for a lifetime, he had a dream. He dreamed that he was downstairs in building 11, but here is the same as the 11 holes in my impression. It seems different. It was surrounded by lush trees. It's on the lawn in front of the building, sitting in an old school uniform. Tall girl, reading the book attentively. That beautiful face frowned from time to time, sometimes happy. Chen Gang was stunned for a while. I feel like this girl in front of me. It's like deja vu. At this time, a young man with oily hair and noodles suddenly walked into Chen Gang's field of vision. Walked to the girl's side. He sat down. The girl glanced sideways at him, frowned, moved to the side in disgust. He didn't care. Say hey to yourself. My name is Wang Quan. Power of power. My brother is the school dean. My uncle was in this business. Speaking of which, he raised his thumb proudly. But the girl didn't even look up, and the kingship was embarrassed. But then he asked himself, what do you call beautiful woman? Smile too. The girl was a little bored by now. Just said a simple sentence. I turned around and continued to read the book. Turn your back to that kingship. Tenhui, right? Nice name. Are you free tonight? Let's have a meal together. Tanhui closes her notebook at this time. Get up and leave. But that oily-faced boy. But it followed like a fly. Behind him is still chatter. I'm about to enter the dormitory. Wang Quan couldn't help but reach out and pull it. But in exchange for a loud slap in the face, cover the long print on the hot face. The king looked at his back fiercely. He spat on the ground, turned around, and left. And at this time, Chen Kang also woke up. He rolled over and sat up from the bed, looking at the dark dormitory. Chen just realized that he was dreaming just now. But the girl's face, but it was deeply ingrained in his heart. And that kingship looks like no good. I wonder what he will do. That girl seems to be called Ten Hui. Chen Gang recited the name, thinking of the girl's lovely face. I lay down and fell asleep again. The next night, Chen Gang ate early and ate late. The meal went back to the dormitory. He can't even think about it. Why did such a strange thing happen? All he could think about was the girl. He just wants to know what happened to Tan Hui later. Lying on the bed, it's been a long time since I turned it over and over again. Finally fell asleep. This time, he only saw himself standing outside the door of dormitory 118. He curiously reached out and wanted to push the door to take a look. It went straight through the door, and he stepped inside. Here in the messy 118 in my impression, it's completely different. The room is well organized, and next to his desk, a girl is burying herself in writing. It's Tan Hui. When Chen Gang saw him, his heart couldn't help but strike. He walks up to paralysis. Sit down gently. That move is careful, for fear of disturbing him, and this is the moment. A creaking sound came from behind. Chen Gang looked back. It is the royal power of the oily head and noodles last time. He was sneaking in through the crack of the door. This guy again. What does he want? Chen Gang stood up in surprise, but found that the whole person seemed to be frozen. Can't even move a finger. He opened his mouth desperately. I want to make a sound to remind Chen Hui, but nothing can be done. He could only watch the kingship helplessly, laughing through his body, thinking of Ten Hui walking over step by step. Ashamed, I seemed to have noticed something abnormal behind me at this time. Just turned around. He was held in his mouth with one hand. He looked at the person in front of him in horror, wriggling my body desperately. But the kingship seems to be getting more and more excited. He was paralyzed, to his twisting body. He slowly went limp. The kingship dragged him to the bed behind him. He pounced on it like a vicious dog. Chen Gang woke up again when he saw this. He wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. Suddenly he had a strange feeling. It seems that in this dark room, there was another man staring at him in the dark. He jumped up with a whoosh. I ran to the corner and turned on the light. Empty room except for myself. No one else. Early the next morning, he went to the archives early. I dreamed of that girl for 2 days in a row. Something must have happened here before. Chen Kong decided to find out, but I rummaged through the archives. I couldn't find anything about it. I found a few more seniors I knew. I asked for a long time to find out. This place seems to have had some murders before, but then there was no robbery, and it was over. What the hell happened here? Chen Gang said to himself. Tonight, no matter what, you must also know the final answer. Back to the dormitory. Why lie on the bed? The lights were on, and he went to sleep. Cold light, shiny office. This time it was in the office. Chen Gang came to his senses. I found out. Several men in sharp suits are sitting on the sofa. Close your eyes and rest. And on the sofa, there's a girl. From time to time, I cry in depression. This girl is paralyzed. The one with the better face was paralyzed, never to be seen again. I saw that the eye socket in front of me was deeply sunken, eyes full of blood. The haggard girl just sat there crying. At this moment, a guy in a straight suit cleared his throat. Speak up, Tenhui. You are also an excellent student in our school. Our teachers are obvious to all. You say kingship. He violated you. We will definitely give you a processing result. It won't be because of who he is, dear. We will cover him up, saying. He glanced sideways at the king sitting next to him, and the kingship is sitting on the side, playing with my phone. Here, here. He pouted in disdain. However, everything is about the law. You have to give evidence for everything. You said he violated you. You also went to the hospital for examination. How can you slander him without evidence? If there are no other witnesses or physical evidence, don't be suspicious of others. You are a good seedling in the eyes of our teachers. The school has long planned. I have trained you as a key target. In the future, it will be no problem to guarantee research or anything. Just sit here. Tan Hui, who was originally sitting on the sofa crying. He suddenly stood up from the sofa. He glared viciously with red eyes. Those of you who are acting Western turned around and rushed out of this office. I climbed to the roof in one breath, wiped away tears. Close your eyes with endless resentment. He jumped down without hesitation. Chen Gang followed closely behind him at this time, desperately reaching out to pull him, but it was too late, and Chen Gang's foot slipped. I fell down too. The moment he fell, he saw the rooftop. A girl with low hair stood. A gust of wind picked up the hair that covered his face. I saw that half of his face was already bloody, exposed the white bones. Only one eyeball and half of the lip remain, grinning at Chen Gang. Is this a dream or a reality? Too late to think. Just a bang. Chen Gang landed heavily in Building 11 on the concrete stairs in front of the building. In an instant, the stairs in front of the 11 doors dyed red. This happened in the dormitory building. The entire Building 11 has been closed again. The next year, a group of new students came. 118 in the dormitory. A young man is moving the table. He opened the drawer. Another pair of ladies' panties was found in the drawer. And what he didn't notice was, in the corner of dormitory 118, a girl with low hair is grinning there, laughing. All right, this is the ghost dormitory I will tell you about today.